All right, welcome to this video series on the North and South nodes of the birth chart. So in this video, we are going to talk about the North node in the third house or Gemini, which would mean your South node is in the ninth house or Sagittarius. So this is, in my opinion, the most important part of astrology and of the birth chart because it is showing these sort of undercurrent to all of our life experiences. In other words, regardless of what's going on in the astrology or what's going on in your life at a certain period of time, you will notice that there is this undercurrent of this sort of free will side to things where you can choose to go in this direction or go in that direction. And this is usually the push and pull between the nodes that, as we become more aware of it, really helps us make decisions and fundamentally bring more balance into our life. So down in the comment section, there is a birth chart calculator if you don't know what the placements are of your north and south nodes. Now the north node is the N looking type of horseshoe, and the south node is the U type of looking horseshoe. And so you do want to see what house and sign that's in. Now the house is, in my opinion, the most important video to watch, the most important part of your north and south nodes. So do check that one out first, and then I would say additionally you can check out the sign as well. So this one is, again, north node in the third house, Gemini, or south node in the ninth house or Sagittarius. All right, so so let's take a look. So the life path, like I said, it is this undercurrent. So for you, let's start with the south node in the ninth house or in Sagittarius. The south node is where we're coming from. And so it helps to understand where we're coming from to see where we're going. So for you, let's say in a past life, if you believe in past lives, I'm going to use the analogy just to describe this. But let's say in a past life, there was likely a lot of emphasis on you expanding your horizons. For example, not to be taken literally, but for example, you may have been a traveler, you may have been a philosopher, maybe a spiritual person, dealing with a lot of higher wisdom, sharing your wisdom. Anything that was about accessing this sort of more expansive worldview. And so this is what's comfortable for you. So now coming into this life, it's like, okay, this is what you're comfortable with. Your natural default is to, learn higher things and get into more of the abstract realms and to do things that involve like freedom or travel, or that adventurousness or whatever it might be. This comes natural, and you'll notice a lot of patterns in your life associated with this. But because it is the comfort zone, it is the area that we are essentially bringing balance back to in this life, because there's likely an oscillation with this area. One side of you likely wants to go all into expanding your horizons, or feels like it's missing something and is needing something to get about more wisdom, more beliefs, more adventurousness, more spirit, more higher knowledge, something like this. There's nothing wrong with this, but just to be observant, just to be aware of that. Because what's going to help bring balance here is practicing non-attachment to these things. Non-attachment to expanding your horizons. Non-attachment to some of these inspiration, more inspiring aspects of life, or philosophies or wisdom. It's that non-attachment that's going to really help the energy flow. So non-attachment to the abstract. You might call it the right side of the brain, right? Non-attachment to those related matters. And so this can help free you up tremendously, is the non-attachment to that. Because again, that is the comfort zone. That is where we're usually, again, trying to find that balance. And so by non-attachment, it helps bring balance there. And this is because in this life is taking you in a completely opposite direction, which is about getting into your practical mind, the practical aspects of life. And so a good analogy of this is like if in a past life you were like a philosopher or traveler, you probably didn't spend too much time in the city with the everyday folk, talking, exchanging, doing a lot of the practical things, kind of like common sense type of things. You were more about, the ideals and the ideas in the abstract world. So this life, it is coming into this city, into the practical, and to learn about and exchange with others in a very practical way. So really good in this life to learn and develop and make mistakes with your practical side. This could be communication. This could be learning practical knowledge, practical skills. a lot of things that involve the rational or scientific, right, practical sort of ideas and implementations. Because again, you're taking maybe some of these abstract views and really grounding them now in this life through what can actually be applied and verified and also communicated in such a way that is relatable, right, through practicality. And so anything you can continue to do to learn about and make mistakes with communication, learning practical things, writing, reading, things that really help you get into that more tangible, more immediate environment. Also business and trade, exchanging with others. So it's exchanging ideas like communication, but it's in a way that it's about two equal parties coming together. Because in the past life, you're like in the mountaintop. It's like you had the more, you're up here, life is down here, everyone else down here kind of a thing. It's kind of like the high horse analogy, when someone has a lot of like wisdom and stuff, it's like, okay, they're kind of on that high horse, but we want to come down off that horse and we want to be able to exchange and share with others in such a way that's mutual and relatable. And this is what the third house in Gemini is about. It's about that connecting with our peers in such a way that it's, we're not only sharing our information, but we're willing to learn as well. And to see things in the more everyday sense or in the more practical sense or in a way that isn't so just abstract. And willing to exchange and learn from others. And access that curious side, that inquisitive side. And so this is a really good way of balancing the nodes because, like I said, the oscillation is there. So to really simplify this, I would say that it's really a twofold process. One is to practice non-attachment to the more abstract realm and the free-spirited side of yourself, or those matters like travel or philosophy, whatever it's about. Practicing non-attachment to that stuff can really help free you up and liberate that area for you. That's one side. Then the other side to it is what can you learn about, make mistakes with regarding the practical, regarding communication, regarding the everyday, regarding the peers, the community, the more immediate environment. All right, what can you learn about and explore here? And then take some of that wisdom and make it into practical knowledge to be relatable and shared and understood and useful. Right? So learn about and make mistakes with the practical stuff. And that should give you a sense of purpose and direction as well. If you ever feel stuck, it's always good to get in that practical. That'll usually be a good kickstart to help you get out of any sort of comfort zones of the South Node. All right, but not as an end in and of itself, because like I said, there's an oscillation. So one side of you may want to go all into just the practical or just in the communication or just the learning. And, there's real no satisfaction in that either. Because at the end of the day, what's ultimately most important to you is likely that more abstract, free-spirited energy. And so, like I said, your life path is really about bringing balance back to that. It's just that the process of doing that will require you to get into that practical and further develop that left side of the brain, you could say. All right, relatable, practical, scientific, rational type of stuff. Because that's exactly what our abstract minds need. It's exactly what our abstract lives need. We can't have freedom in higher knowledge and higher wisdom if it isn't practical and it isn't relatable, right? And it isn't something applicable in an everyday sense or verifiable in an everyday sense, right? So learning about and exploring the practical is going to help bring the balance there. All right, so I think that's pretty much it. So let me know if you have any questions down in the comment section. Now on the screen here, there is a discount for 20% off if you want to dive deeper into your personal chart, because obviously this is still very general. But looking at your specific planets and the rulers of these nodes and all this can be way more exacting for you. So do check that out. But thank you for watching, and I will see you all next time for the next video. Take care.